why do we have it, you know?
Yeah.
Why do we have the voice? Because our voice is unique in the sense of like we can represent a lot of sounds. Diving deeper to the investigation, I mean, in the how it works in the chakra system, you know, in the biochemical one and spiritual and so on, I figure out that in my experience, I can heal myself with the singing. The vagus nerve is here, the endorphin system is here. So this vibration makes the cells move, flush out the dead and weak cells, and just regenerate all the time.
Today I speak with Evgenii Sorokin. He's a Russian singer and songwriter and artist, and also a vocal coach or vocal therapist. I'm really happy to present you the first English episode here on the Natural Biohacker Podcast. My name is Robin, and the English episode is so important for me because I met so many cool people around the world, and I also want to give them a stage, and one of them is Evgenii. Evgenii is a really good friend of mine. I met him back on Koh Phangan on the magical island in Thailand. And he became my personal vocal coach, mine and Nadia's as well. And we improved our voice, our skills in singing and speaking. And today in this podcast, we will bring you some skills, some new techniques, which you can use to enhance your voice, to improve your singing and speaking skills, and overcome fear and shame of speaking in public or singing in public. So I'm really happy to talk with Evgenii, and I hope you can get a lot of good new information about how to use your voice. Yeah, welcome to another episode on the Natural Biohacker Podcast. The first one in English.
Wow.
Extra for you.
Seriously?
Extra for you and for you.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, we have here Evgenii, a good friend of mine, and a teacher, a voice teacher, my voice teacher as well, for me and Nadia, and we had a wonderful time here on the island. But yeah, please introduce yourself. Who are you?
That's actually a good question. I'm vocal coach, father, musician. Yeah, I sometimes call myself as the vocal therapist. So yeah, this is my field.
Yeah, and natural biohacking is, for me, it's a term like to use our natural abilities to transform ourselves, yeah, to grow bigger. And for me and for you as well, the voice is a really big tool. How you discovered this tool in your life?
Actually, the story is long. I mean, in my life, it was naturally. I started to sing when I was 6 years old, and I guess music was integrated to my life through my grandfather, who played the accordion. So, and then I came to choir for maybe 8-10 years.
Yeah.
And I was leader of the choir at that time. So that was the first school of mine by singing. And then I started to just jump to the different styles and exploring my voice in different way. I mean, I was rapping, then I was like in punk rock group, grunge, metal music, the heavy metal one.
Yeah.
Like I was growling, then I jumped to reggae, then Indian classical music and so on, like throat singing and yeah, and all of this experience kind of, I don't know where to look. So yeah. So all of this experience just showed me different sides of the voice.
Yeah.
And after a while, people start to ask me how to do it, and then I started to teach people.
Yeah.
And in that time, for sure, I had the how it's called imposter syndrome.
Imposter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who I am. So, but after a while, I started to dive in it deeper, and I started to discover, yeah, the values of the voice in different aspects.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it naturally integrated to my life because When I became father, then I started in the pregnancy time. I started to investigate about how the voice affects the child in the womb, uh, how we develop the ears and stuff, and yeah, step by step like this.
Yeah. Wow.
So and with the people and the same, like I started to learn the psychology with numbers of the students. I started to see patterns and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're from Russia, right?
Yeah.
Where?
Exactly from the north of Russia is Petrozavodsk,
Okay.
the city or the town,
Yeah.
and it's close to Saint Petersburg.
Okay. And is there like Russia is a really really big country, a nation, and there are a lot of different styles, also in the shamanic traditions and in
Yeah.
the natural biohacking with the voice and with other practices. Is there like a tradition in Russia, maybe where you came from, where they use the voice for healing? Because you
I
said
don't know.
your grandfather always sang and
My grandfather actually he been playing the accordion. It's like, but he is from different part of Russia. I mean, he's from north, and from my state is like Republic of Karelia. It's the border with the Finland. It has the border with the Finland, and I don't know, like in the maybe in villages, there are actually how to say tribes. Not tribes, but the all.
communities. Yeah.
I mean the grandmothers, you know, like the old one, and actually I have a huge collection of Russian folk singing, and it's super different. I mean, in different parts of Russia is very different, and it's about, yeah, I guess before, I don't know about now, but before maybe in 20th century, the women and men in the village they were singing in the tribes. I mean, together and gathering together, and we have a lot of folk music in this way. But specifically in my state, in the Republic of Karelia, I no, I don't know. I have never investigated in this way.
Okay. Okay. So you investigated in many other ways. You said you are doing the rapping and also like throat singing and a lot of different styles. Is there like a daily practice where you use your voice for yourself and maybe as a ritual?
You know, it is just different time to time. For now, I made the very comfortable practice for myself because I practice with my students. So I have a lot of students, and all the time I'm practicing with them. So I, do both things at the same time. Before it was all the time. The first thing actually with which drives me is curiosity. Like. For example, when I heard first time the growling, the heavy metal one, like Cannibal Corpse or something like this metal bands, uh, I was like, how do they do it, And
Maybe
then,
can you make like a little voice
like this,
Okay. All right.
So it's just
Yeah.
I've learned it that time. Then I heard the Bob Marley, and then I was like, okay, reggae, and I was really fell in love with Bob Marley, and I started to investigate how he does his singing. So I've been listening to him or other reggae or raga jungle, something like this, and just copying. To be honest, I practice maybe, I don't know, like 3-4 hours per day.
Oh, wow.
I mean, just I'm going to really understand how to do it. And then after a while, I got it, And yeah, I have examples. I mean, just to say, here on Ireland, when I sang the Bob Marley song and some reggae music, like people from, I don't remember the country, maybe England or Jamaica, the black skinned people, they didn't see me.
Yeah.
And then they came and they were like, wow, you're a white skinned man. We didn't know, like.
Yeah, so kind of an Eminem story a little bit.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And I was actually very impressed, and I was, I mean, honored. I don't know, like, because it's just we have different types of voices, you know, like in our body structure as well.
Yeah, you know, and maybe as well, in Germany we have a gentleman. Yeah, he's also like a white guy and living for a long time. I think also with the Jamaicans and make really good reggae music. I was at a concert once in Zurich, and yeah, I think everybody can learn like to sing like them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one little piece is about that the timbre which they have, this I mean maybe tone, how I would say.
Yeah.
It's just they have more space in the body.
Okay.
That's why the voice is just different, you know. You always can tell, like, is it a white person or a black person? I mean,
it's because of the structure of the face and the bones in the face, the jaw.
That's the thing.
Okay, interesting. Wow. Yeah, I had the honor with Nadia to have a voice intensive with you 3 days. It was 3 days, right? And it blew my mind. Afterwards, I use my voice a lot in my coachings as well, in my live breathworks. I also can talk a little bit about breathwork because it's also like a really important tool in combination with the voice. And for me, it was wow. Yeah, like to use the different tones, like the aum and the letters, to experience my voice. And for you, or for me, it was so interesting for you as a coach that you just say, okay, there's a little bit, and maybe you can go more into deep there. And I think it's a training everybody should experience, to reconnect with their own voice, to find their own voice, because also metaphorically spoken, it's really important to find your voice in your job maybe, or in your profession, or in your relationship with other men or women.
Yeah, I'm agree with you completely. It's not that I'm forcing everyone to, you know,
Why not?
to work with the voice. It's just I just see how it affects the life.
Yeah.
Because just an example, if I will speak with you in this way all the time now, you know, it will just be different perception. And it's for me the voice is very I don't know how to. It's actually for me entire universe. I mean, I perceive the voice as the very small frequencies in many different ways, because the voice has spectrum like a huge one, you know. The instruments which are musical one, they have less than the voice. Voice has a huge range in many different, and yeah, I prove it to myself that by only one kind of embodying voice, I can produce different stuff. Absolutely, like, you know, different sounds. Uh, and for the experts as well, yeah, the voice all the time represents the state of mind, I mean, even biochemical reaction in your body, because just an example, if the man has a small amount of testosterone, the voice is higher. I mean, if it's low, it's more, and it's just all connected. Very, yeah.
And if there's someone out there and he said, yeah, I know my voice is maybe a man, my voice is really high, or maybe a woman as well, so not completely satisfied with their voice in the metaphoric, but also like in the body sense, what would you suggest to begin this journey? Is there like a practice, or is there like a decision they need to do?
You know, it's a good point about decision, because you know, the first thing in my life is regularity. I mean, with any practice, like either this breathing technique, breathing practice, or yoga, or training, or whatever, like And what I do with my students, with the clients, I try to find the value, the root value, the motivation under layer, because this, mm, you know, this question, or how to say, this wish, like I would like to sing, it's very general. But why? Why would you like to sing? Like, okay, I would like to, and it's different for anyone. Like, I would like to connect with myself, with my body, or I would like to increase my breathing capacity, or I would like to be connecting with the people, be the one, I mean, with the everyone around, or grab the attention of the people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things, and first thing to start is just commitment. I mean, if you go to the workshop or one class, yeah, you can learn from there the techniques, you can learn the path, the way. Yeah, but without own practices, it will not move. What I'm trying to do is to kind of teach people to integrate the practice in their life.
Yeah.
I mean, the breathing technique, which I kind of share, we can do it before sleep. I mean, like, and it helps to sleep well. Then the exercises for the muscles, because I perceive the voice as a musical instrument. Yeah, so it has elements, and we have air element, which is fuel. We have like resonators, which change the sound, and we have vocal cords as the source of the sound, right? So this is the basic elements.
Yeah.
I mean, and with each of them you can work. So you can start with working with that's the basic stuff for everyone, actually, to start to work with soft palatar. That's the muscle inside, and the exercise is just making M sound to increase this vibration. Because sometime, if you, for example, will try now, you can. If you can try the sound, sometime it could be like,
Capacity, yeah.
I mean, the muscle inside is contracted and it's not in tonus. And all of these muscles, they form the sound, because the sound has the direction. This is what is important. And more to say, this exercise of M, it's very good for switching the nervous system. Like, it activates the vagus nerve, which is about to switch from sympathetic to parasympathetic. Yeah, and it calms down your nervous system, entire body, and it start to make the chemical reaction in your body, like increasing the dopamine, decreasing cortisol, and endorphin also rise up. So I use it actually not for only singing, but when I have, let's say, a stressful situation or something like this,
Cold or something.
it's really it works.
Yeah.
And 1 minute, you are really okay.
I also like to do it in the sauna here. Sometimes the people are a little bit annoyed, but the best way I found to integrate it in my daily life here on the island, I must say that, is to ride on a motorcycle and do the breathing exercises. Like, not like super hard breathing exercises, but also the humming or the Aum chanting. And yeah, for me, I will miss that. So in 1 week I go back to Germany and I can't ride with my motorbike and make my sounds.
Yeah, it's just, good question for me, and even for you as also a coach of breathing techniques, is about the commitment. Because for us, I mean, in my life, for sure, I'm not doing any, like, everything, every practice every day, like la la la, but it's about your own decision, because the doors of positive changes, they open from inside.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also a little bit like the problem with the gym. You go to a place to do something. Yeah, so we all do it, of course. But the key is to integrate it in your daily life. So not to go to the gym and then move. So you move like through the day. Yeah, you be in the deep squat maybe, or you go for a walk in the nature. And I think the same is with these practices. So just not wait for the next vocal intensive or for the next voice session or for the next singing circle. Practice it. Practice it with your kids. So practice it with your partner, with your family. I don't know.
I mean, I understand that by yourself it is difficult, like to keep up.
Yeah.
And that's why people like taking vocal coach sessions and stuff, and I actually figure out that the clubs, the groups, the courses, they are good in the sense of that people are in community, let's say, and they have support for each other. And that's the thing, because when we come to our life by ourselves, then we like, okay, I will skip this, I will la la la. But I don't know, I still investigating in this way. I mean, in the coaching path, from the side that like to put the really high value inside the person, but only if the person can increase this value. Because in my daily practice, for example, the breathing techniques which I make, or like the mindset which I never wrote down the gratefulness like diary or something like this, and I started to do it not because I this affirmation thing or something like this, not in this case. I just I developed the value for myself that when I'm doing the gratefulness diary, I'm thankful for this and thankful for that, I'm actually feeling really good after like 2 minutes of doing it. And I understand that I'm changing the biochemical reaction in my body, and that's it. It's not about like I praying to the God or something like this. It's just the job with the brain, like to make it.
It's also with me on the motorcycle. So afterwards, I'm always feeling good. So my mood is elevated, and I'm happy because I sing. Sometimes I also chant like medicine songs, which has also like a meaning, like kind of affirmation or connection with the nature. And afterwards, I'm always like, eh. And this is the proof that it works. And then I can, okay, I need to integrate it because it's good for me. It's good for my nervous system. It's good for my mood.
Yeah, I'm agree. It's just sometimes I ask myself the question, like, and people as well, why do we have it? Why do we have the voice? Because our voice is unique in the sense of like we can represent a lot of sounds. It's not only bird sound or something. We can do a lot, and diving deeper to the investigation, I mean, in the how it works in the chakra system, in the biochemical one and spiritual and so on, I figure out that it how to say, let's say it was given to us uh, for the healing purpose. First of all, like, because in my experience, I can heal myself with the singing. I mean, I don't have illnesses like often, but when I have the cough or fever or something, like I sing very quiet for a while, and next day I'm okay. And I mean, it just works in a biochemical way because the vagus nerve is here, the endorphin system is here, and all this vibration. I will put it on the plate like this. That first of all, the one breath is already powerful, like one cycle of breath is huge things happening in the body. Maybe we will dive in it after a while. But the first purpose of the voice is that it makes the vibration, and the healthy body for me, as I perceive it, is the body when the cells can move. So this vibration makes the cells move, flush out the dead and weak cells, and just regenerate all the time.
Yeah, it's all about creating a coherent state in your body. Like the cells are communicating with each other, the organs as well, the heart with the brain with the heart.
Yeah.
And voice and breath, I think it's the ultimate tool just to get to this coherent state.
Yeah, and just the basic stuff is it has different sides, and I'm so kind of inspired to share all these things because I have plenty things to share, and all the time when I dive to this type of conversation is just so many things I would like to share in one sentence. So yeah, the basic stuff is when you hit yourself somewhere, like first of all, what you do, like you scream and you express straight this kind of energy, which is tap into your body, and you just release it because and it happens unconsciously. It's just what our body does, and this is the first part for me, but in a deeper level of psychology, how I work with the people is that it can release a huge massive things from our subconscious.
Like a kind of emotional release.
Yeah, because our body holds emotions and stuff, and you just can take it out with a voice. And for sure you have different tools, massage, yoga, and stuff, but here is just I guess we can feel it sometimes.
Super interesting. And what happens a lot on a mental level, I see it also with our clients, is like they're unsatisfied maybe in a relationship or like in the communicating with their self, and they're not like expressing it with their voice, they're like swallow it down.
Yeah.
And this is why they're feeling uncomfortable and why our illness starts to evolve. And if we learn like to use our voice also in these situations, maybe we can go to the toilet and make like you know I think it's a good tool to work with, also to not to get stuck so much in life.
Yeah, I it resonates with me as well, and many of us we cannot say no, for example, or express something we like or we don't like, and this is what I see in a lot of clients. I mean, all of these are very close to each other because just an example. One of my student, she, when I work with the people in the singing session, I just see the psychological patterns which in behaviors, like the example, one of my students, she is very control woman. She's a businesswoman, like she likes everything to be in the place, to get done and stuff. And she doesn't kind of like the mistakes. I mean, like when everything, something is not right,
Not aligned.
not aligned or something. And when she is learning singing, and she's like out of tune somewhere, she's like, I'm again out of tune. Like, how I can make it better and so on. And I'm like, it's just okay. You are trying, like you are trying singing, and she's like, oh, I can listen myself in this way. So, and we dive deeper in this case, and then we figure out, and she been crying a lot in that session.
Wow.
That we figure out that she took decision in her childhood to be perfect, to be like this person who doesn't show her emotions, anger or anxiety or something else, because she had, let's say, not good family, like father and mother. So, and she needed to take the role of kind of parent and show everyone that in any circumstances everything is fine, because she had the little sister as well. So, and then she integrated it in her life. For sure, the big one was that she succeeded in her career. But in an emotional level, when I say to her, like, can you just make a, like, hey, like this, you know.
Yeah.
She could not make it because for her it was like vulnerable a lot. But then when she entered to the state like of safety and stuff, and we started to integrate deeper, then when she shout this, then she started to sing out the stuff, then it just flashes all the, you know,
Like
emotions.
she broke a pattern.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it flashes straight all the things out.
Wow.
And yeah, this is powerful thing I see in the voice as well.
Thanks for sharing. It reminds me on a story in the Amazonian rainforest. I've been with Nadia last year. We sit with the Yawanawa tribe, and it's also like a very musical tribe. They use a lot their voice, and they have also the women and the men as well. They have so powerful voices. And what I noticed in the ceremonies, and also they are like singing and dancing all day long. You know, so there's every time there's somewhere singing and playing. And what I noticed in ceremony, they did a lot of mistakes, you know, when they sing. So they sing the wrong thing, or they make some mistakes with the guitar, and every time they don't stop, you know, they just continue. And the people who are dancing and shouting and stuff, they approved it, you know, they're like clapping and woo. So it's another kind of mistake culture in the Amazonian rainforest and in the with the tribal people. Then we have like in maybe Russia, Germany, in the industry states, when you make a mistake, it's not good. So we learn it in school, you know, with the red, yeah, zack, 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 zack. And I think it's a really, really important pattern to that we need to see and that we need to evolve out of it. You know, it's good to make mistakes. Also, as an entrepreneur or as a coach, yeah, we learn from mistakes and we grow from mistakes.
Yeah, I'm agree with you.
Yeah.
And by mistakes, I mean, if we speak about the sound, you know, if I sing like, is it what? What is it? It's just the sound, you know. But if I will put it in context, then it's like, you know, they are integrating with each other.
Yeah.
But if I that's the thing. Like the sound itself is just the sound. It's just frequency. I mean, it cannot be wrong or right. And then only we make decision that it's wrong or right.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we stop and then we give up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just our own decision. And in the singing, I mean, I think in many different fields, because we behave everywhere same, you know. Either we, I don't know, wash the dishes or like learning something, you know, very unique, because we have the dialogue with ourselves all the time. Like, am I good on it? Like, oh, you suck or something. Like, people just can take different decisions. So and I also feel it if we're speaking about biohacking stuff. It's just the same patterns which we integrated in, like, were integrated in our life in the biochemical reaction in our body, because all these decisions which we make, they could be automatically in the chemical reactions, you know, like chemicals reacted, we are like, okay, I suck, or but we always have a choice. For me, it's like or one or zero. And the first thing, you know, like the basic thing in the coaching, that you need to kind of notice it, and then you have to choose other thing which you want. And then you, for me, it works in this way that you notice it, then neurons in the brain like lighten up, and then you from here change the big biochemical reaction to the other one, and then your brain start to crave for this one, not the previous one. So, and this is how I work also with my students. I mean, I always ask this question: what will be the best result for you in the end of session or in the end of our like interaction, in the sense of like to make person to feel what the person actually would like to feel.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I perceive it in this way that you create this biochemical reaction already, because we can, if I will say you, I don't know, like, what is the taste of the honey, or I don't know, whatever,
yeah, yeah,
for sure you will start to taste it, you don't need to have honey to taste it. So the same with the feelings for me, like you can first of all dream it, wish it, integrate in your biochemical reaction, and then your brain just craves for it, and it makes the path unconsciously, automatically, I don't know, like, but it works in this way. And in my case, same. I mean, we can speak that it's manifestation, affirmations and stuff, but for me it's logical.
yeah,
I mean, in the chemical
yeah,
level.
And you use it also like a lot to express your emotions, because I know it, because Nadia gets to know you like this. Yeah, there was like a video in the conscious community in Kopangan, I think rainy season here, and it was like really a kind of comedy kind of session. And we also have a session afterwards. We will show you. Yeah, you said you make like a little composition here for the tribe. And yeah, you use it with your instruments, and also like with the looping, and also don't take everything so serious. So you use also the music to get along with life, also when it's hard sometimes, right?
For me, it's just my own therapy.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Any emotions I have. I also feel that it's same. It's a biochemical reactions in my body, which I I did it thousands of times, and after a while, I just started to be sad. I mean, when I don't play music, I just I feel that something is going on, and I need to express it. So I just improvise. I have YouTube channel as well, so I express whatever. And my main tool, which I use for myself and which I share with the people, is to sing without words. I mean, just gibberish, and you
Love that.
it's just like whatever pops out, you express it, and you have no frames, and you're absolutely free, and you're relaxed. And mm, like some or most people are not so comfortable with this.
Yeah, because they feel like maybe dumb or silly or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, some people feel foolish, or but I don't know. Again, it's just a judgment from inside. I don't know, like like it's just it comes out, and why I need to stop it.
Yeah, and when you do it, like I did it with a coaching client like 2 years ago, like 10 minutes straight, like just blah 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 all the time, and he was like so completely free after it. He just he was in his body, not anymore in his mind. There were no thoughts, nothing, because he just expressed everything out, which is here and which is stuck in mind energy. Maybe such a good tool.
Yeah, I think it just shut down the walls, of these social things or something in this way. Yeah.
Um, the other thing we mentioned a lot right now was the breath. And we did a lot of breath work also in the vocal intensive, which was amazing, and I didn't expected that.
Thank you.
But of course, yeah, it's so important to get in touch with your own voice. Also, like to have the capacity set with your lungs and with the exhaling. So many people, many clients of us, they have problems with exhaling. So inhaling is no problem. They're like, yeah, but exhaling is then like, okay, now it's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, you noticed this also, like with your clients or with yourself, maybe before you started to
I actually noticed a bit like slightly different thing. Yeah, exhalation it's an issue, but inhalation as well.
Okay.
Really, because For me, more inhalation than exhalation. For the look to have capacity to sing well, I mean to produce the voice, you need support of breath. Like the breath is what breath supposed to be solid. I mean it has to be like, as a tube which pushes the vocal cords and they can vibrate and rely on this, let's say, breath, air. So, but with not proper inhalation, you don't have proper exhalation. So, and mostly my clients, they breathe in the way like this, very short one, very shallow,
fast.
and fast. And it's not only about the voice, or it's just about entire state of mind. I mean, if you breathe all the time fast and shallow, your nervous system is all the time in sympathetic mode when you are stressed, when you're like this, and when they start to recognize it, when they start to make a proper inhalation, then they start to feel, oh, I actually feel more calm now. Oh, actually, I can, like exhale very well and so on. And for me, the breath is important to balance inhalation and exhalation in the look. I don't know, like I just would like to speak maybe it's just about the timing and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things to share in one breath cycle, how it's happening and how they feel.
Sure, of course.
Okay, so yeah, our diaphragm is not the organ only about the breathing. It's the main organ and it's first heart for me, which pumps the liquid in our body and the lymphatic system. So imagine that the diaphragm itself pumps the 30 liters of liquid in our body, which flush out the dead cells and weak cells. And if our diaphragm is weak, then this job start to take the heart. The heart takes this job, and then after, like in the years, if we speak about days, months, okay, but years, the heart start to be weak, and the diaphragm itself is weaker because our brain works in this way that it saves the energy all the time, and if we don't use some parts of the body, it's off. So the diaphragm is the same. If we don't use it properly, if we don't train it, step by step, year by year, it starts to be weak, and the muscles they are not activated, and that's why the breath start to be shallow. Another point here is that when we breathe shallow, let's imagine the picture that how do we breathe, right? Like the process is we have alveoles in the lungs, and each alveole has the capacity to grab the oxygen
Oxygen and
particle. So and now imagine the injection, the medical one. So if you will try to take the liquid fast, then it will not allow you to do it because there will be the air cord, like, but if you do it slow, then the liquid is
steady.
it goes in. Same with the breath. If you inhale fast, then you have the air cork in the bronchial tree, and then the capacity of your lungs is here. The numbers of alveoles, let's say, I don't know, 1 million of them, right? But if you allow the air to flow, how to flow, or
To
circulate around the lungs, then the amount of alveoles is like 100 million of something like this, and the same amount of air, you can catch the more oxygen. So
Yeah.
your body and all your cells, they receive
Yeah.
a proper amount. So that's just how I perceive the
Yeah,
breath.
and there's the mistake in the teaching of many yoga teachers and stress coaches, like deep breathing, and what the people are doing is like, yeah, with all of their shoulders and neck and stuff, yeah. But slow diaphragmatic, how like you said, breathing. This is the thing. We need to relearn how to breathe. When you look at the baby, maybe you can share a story with you as a father. You see it, that they use the full capacity and that they're really like slow breathing, so in the belly or with the diaphragm, and also like really easy out exhaling. Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely relaxed.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And actually, mm, more I dive into the investigation, more I discover. So I didn't know, for example, before that we have 5 diaphragms. I mean,
Yeah.
like we have different types of muscles which rotate and they allow air to come in. It's not that we are sucking air, it's just we're allowing the air to come to our body. If I, for example, open the window, the air comes because different pressure of air is outside and inside. So the same here. And most of us, we are not aware in our body, like, or conscious, how would say, and we just an example. If you breathe in this way, like, with the shoulders like this, then you feel that your breath is, you can try it. It's just stuck here. But if you relax your shoulders, even like your head, and you try to inhale slowly, then you feel like the capacity, the air flows, and this area is all the time mostly is contracted, and that's how it's not about like breath in general, inhalation. It's just about the entire system state, entire system chemical reaction of each cell, each chemical reaction of in your body, and how many breath we how actually, do you know how many breath we take per day, maybe?
Oh, no, I don't know. I think per minute should be
Actually,
6 to 8, but mostly it's more. Yeah.
just interesting question, how many times we breathe like in 24 hours.
A lot.
Yeah, so each breath is just representation of one chemical reaction in 1 second. So
Yeah, so to sum it a little bit up,
Yeah,
it's all about changing the biochemics, but also the mechanics, yeah,
Yeah.
with the diaphragm, and also like the speed, the cadence of the breathing. And so breathwork is like the fundamental, fundamental. You need to reconnect with your breath, and you need to reconnect with your voice as well, because there you have the vibration. It's a little bit more on the frequency state. There you can heal trauma, you can release emotions and everything. And I think these two partners, it's the ultimate way to heal, yeah, and to heal trauma and to evolve also as a human being and as a social being as well, because with the breath we connect, with the voice we connect with other people. That's why I have a good friend, maybe she's listening to the podcast as well, Jana. She's a German voice teacher, but she's more like teaching the people how to public speaking, and like to prepare for big speaking gigs.
Yeah.
It's also like a really important that you can use your voice, and that you have like a toolbox with breathworks, with voice works, yeah, which you can use on a daily practice. And yeah, we can state like the big challenge is to get it into a daily practice and into daily rituals. And that's why you need to find like a community, or find a coach, or find someone, find a tribe who like evolve with you together in this kind of realm.
Yeah. The thought came up to me is just I don't know, like it's obvious. I mean, if you just do it for let's say half a minute, you just inhale slowly, and you just sound it. I promise you will feel better anyways, and everyone know it, but no one, but most of us, we don't use it because we think, okay, it just is there, like. And about the public speaking and practice, more to say. Yeah, I guess it's important to integrate it in your daily life practice. And actually, I perceive all these events in my life as the practice as well, because I practice my voice just right now, and I practice my public speaking just right now, and
English.
in English, yeah. And the thing about practicing, for example, what I practice on a daily basis, and I can recommend it for you. It's a very good tool if you would like to speak in public. That's the exercise. You just uh, look at the one point. It could be even camera, and you or the eye of the person, and you count from, let's say, 300 to 500, and you do it with a metronome, because our speech is like a musical melody. We have pauses, we have tones like intonation, and you can count it like 300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, and you go like in this way. The main purpose of this exercise is to separate your eyes from your speech, because if you speak in this way and you're like, I want to tell you some story, like it's not so confident. But if you speak and you look at the camera, or the eye of the person, you have straight the contact and you have connection.
Yeah.
So, and I practice it on my daily basis and in conversation as well, just to keep the connection. And there are layers of it. It's a first layer of exercise, but even you even doing this for a while, again, regularly, you will see the difference. Like, you will see that you can speak to one point, and you can think what you will say, and plus you can manipulate, I mean, the attention in a sense of like pauses to make it interesting.
Wow.
Because if I will speak in this way all the time, and on watching somewhere, looking somewhere,
Wow.
that's about the daily practice.
Yeah. Really, really nice. Thank you for sharing like this
Thank you.
methods here with us, and yeah, thank you for doing the work, and thank you for being a friend, and yeah, teaching me how to activate my voice as well. And now you're going to Europe as well. You said, yeah, to Italy. So you want to stay a little bit longer. Maybe it depends on the circumstances, of course, but
Yeah, actually, in Europe, I'll be based in Italy for a while. But to be honest, I'm open to make workshops, retreats, events around the Europe. So if you would like to participate or something, like to organize it, really, I would be honored to share the knowledge and to have experience together. And yeah, I would like to appreciate and say that I'm thankful for you, and yeah, that you kind of allow me to share my knowledge and to have this beautiful morning and conversation with you. Yeah, I appreciate it, and it's valuable for me.
thank you, thank you. Our first English podcast here on the Natural Biohacker Podcast.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And you can contact
Женя?
Yeah, you need to know. Yeah. You can contact
Tricky
him.
name.
You can contact him on Instagram. Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe I can also
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Facebook. Okay, I will put everything in the show notes. Thank you for your time. Thank you for
Thank
your
you
knowledge.
guys. Thank you for your attention and thank you. Yeah, wonderful, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
Wow, it was good.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the first English episode here on the Natural Biohacker Podcast. I know we are not native speakers, but for me it's really, really important to bring such incredible human beings like Evgenia in front of the cam, in front of the microphone to share their knowledge and wisdom as well. And be sure to follow him on his website, evgeniasorokin.ru. There you can learn more about his work and connect to him. And for me, it's also really inspiring his Instagram and his YouTube channel, because there he shares also some live sessions with live looping and some jam sessions and also some really cool vocal exercise you can just practice along. So I'm really, really happy that you engaged here with us, and please give us a feedback and share this episode with someone, yeah, who maybe wants to enhance his vocal capabilities and use his voice for public speaking and public singing. And I hope you see you in the next episode. Cheers and bye bye.